so much for still watching us, Newdawn or Tonja on the People's Study. Now, last week we started a discussion here. We started talking about how Nigerian youth can actually be very relevant in the fourth industrial revolution. Whether the revolution has emerged or it's emerging is not the question. The fact is that as a country, we need to prepare for it. Now, the two gentlemen that were here last week are back in the studio. So we are here to do a part two. The part two of the discussion. We have in the studio Mr. Emmanuel Adekunle Durosimi, chartered IT professional. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us once more. Of course, also here is Ayodele Udeogbola, education edutech consultant is also here this morning.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here this morning.
Yes, we need to take it from where we actually left it. Okay. Last week we were speaking about, we talked about emerging issues in the ICT world, and of course the revolution, industrial revolution that the entire world is seeing, and the place of Nigeria. Now, we were picking it from the hospitals before we left. The way hospitals keep records, that there's a need for hospitals now to go digital in such a way that patients don't have to wait for long before their files are brought out, before they get information about them and all of that. Now, how is that relevant in this world, in today's world?
Yes, very, very relevant in the sense that, just like what you said, one of the things that makes people not to go to government hospital, and at the end of the day, they face a problem. Because it is only in government hospital where you can find a lot of specialists. They are the one that can pay for, the so-called consultant. But why are people running away from government hospital then before the case become out of hand? Is that they don't want to stay too long, they cannot find their case notes and all those things. Because when there are some hospitals that they record about 200 new patients on daily basis, you understand? Now, when you have a 200 new patients, you fill in the normal card, they start filing and all those things, misfiling occur where you are supposed to put this. Now, the fourth generation that we are talking about, now let me pick it from that area. The third generation that we are living to the fourth generation now is talking about the internet technology that we are using. Now, that fourth generation, we have something called robotics, AI, Internet of Things. Now, when you continue to apply this to the hospital, there won't be any issue of having patients waiting and even doctor. Now, what is the first phase? You are coming for the first time. We have so many hospital softwares. That's why Nigeria continue to preach, teaching students, youth about coding. So, normal software that you are coming in, okay, they take your data for the first time. As you are there sitting down, the signal will be sent to nurse that will do your vital signs. Nurse will also impute it there, that this person has also BP and all these things. While you are waiting, it's just like you want to go and buy drugs in some of the pharmacy area that we have. Once the pharmacist tell you that, okay, this is the total price of the drugs, before you get to the cashier where you make the payment, the cashier already know. That's why they've just given just a serial number. Now, that is the same thing that we're supposed to use in some of the hospitals that we are using nowadays. Now, the signal will be sent to nurse take it to the doctor. Immediate doctor see you, there are so many, the form must have been designed in such a way that the thing has to be summarized. Then from there, the signal will be sent to the laboratory, whether you are going for test, whether you are going for X-ray, whether you are being referred to a consultant, a specialist. Now, doing this, people will not be scared of coming to the hospital that, okay, I don't want to go to this government hospital, whether FMC or Ijai, because of so many crowd that I won't be attended to. Once we continue to make use of the manual approach system that we are using now, it will create a lot of problems. Now, the patient will go to private hospital. And when you talk about private hospital, not all of them have all these professionals that we're talking about. They have to refer. So they will be managing a patient until it gets out of hand. Then they will now bring them back to the government hospital. You understand? Teaching hospital, UCH, OSUT, and all those things. And likewise, this is the way they are supposed to go to, because that's where you can see a specialist that can attend to that case. So we must go to that fourth generation. Like the area of that AI that I'm talking about, Internet of Things, robotics, is going to the level that even when you come into the hospital, the normal thing they are asking from you, your name and all those things will be imputed by robots. But when I'm talking about this fourth generation, people outside there that are not IT person, they're always scared. They are looking at it that they are going to lose their job. You are not going to lose your job. You have other things to do. You are not going to lose your job. You understand? For instance, let me give an example of what is going on in Lagos. Now look at the normal yellow taxi box that we have in Lagos. We have them shattered, that people normally shatter. But when Taxifier came, Uber and the likes, everybody is still doing their work. You understand? Everybody is still working.
The yellow buses are still there.
They are still there. I'm even talking about the yellow taxi box.
So taxi,
yeah, they are still there. And we have the Uber, we have the Taxifier. And look at a lot of people that are working. I saw a graduate last year. Immediately he finished his NYS, he said he need to change the gather. He went for driving school and all those things. He started learning, studied the map and all those things. He's a driver. He's a Uber driver. It's a corporate. You dress corporately. You are in a good car with full AC. They have the car giving you there, and you get your money.
Okay, Mr. Odebola. Now, he spoke about people getting scared of losing their job. Now, for Nigeria to actually register herself, in this class, contemporary class of how things should be done, it means we have to go back to the schools too.
Definitely.
You are an expert in that. How do you do that?
Yeah, thank you very much. When we are talking about the fourth industrial revolution space, it's an avenue or an atmosphere that creates all these jobs that we are talking about, these present jobs, to give them to machines to do, because most of them will be considered low order thinking jobs, while the complex side of every sector will still be in the hands of human beings. So there is no way, no how, education and learning will not take predominant role. Back to education. We need to understand that the change is something that is sacrosanct, whether we like it or not. And we need to tailor most of our policies towards this space that we're talking about. Whether we like it or not, on unemployment, it won't create unemployment, because that was the basic discussion that was held in Dubai last year about whether robots would replace teachers. Yeah, there was this global uproar because there were so many country presidents in attendance and ministers for education. Then it was recommended at the end of that discussion, that 7-day discussion, that technology would never replace teacher. But in the aspect of empathy, kindness, curiosity, that will still be left in the hands of the teacher. But talk of the numeracy, the usual approach, 2 + 2 = 4, divided by 3, will be done by machines, whether we like it or not. Coming back to the media world, sir, in the next few years, robots will be sitting here and be casting news. So at that time, where is your role?
Or handling the cameras.
Handling the cameras. And whether we like it or not, China has demonstrated that. Yes, they have designed that machine to cast news, to anchor programs, and it will even be giving analysis on some of these ones. So
I'm going to be out of job.
No, you are not going to be out of job.
Tell you what you will be doing.
This is not a dreadful situation. It's a kind of a reality test that we're talking about. At that time, your role will be to manage complex tasks in this sector.
But there'll be reduction. That means there'll be reduction in human traffic.
That's the person that cannot move along with the trend.
Because human beings, according to some philosophers, when we travel, we meet with different philosophies, and you abide with some, and you just neglect some. They have let us realize that human brains have been programmed to handle 250 million tasks before that human being dies. I think you get the idea. So they want scientists of the world want to make us exploit the context of our brain to the fullest.
Which is more brilliant, the human brain or the brain of the machine?
No, human brain.
Human brain.
So the moment the period of exploiting your human brain is when you are creating new solutions, handling complex tasks, not the rudimentary side, this everyday routine tasks. The usual. I'm just using your sector as an example, so I'm not trying to create that dreadful situation.
Okay, now let me come back to you. Let's situate it more in Nigeria. Nigerians are some of the brightest, people in the world, for the good reasons and for the wrong reasons. Nigerians can also beat the machine.
How? I didn't get that question.
Nigerians can also beat the machine. For instance, you have programmed the machine. No, beat the machine. Okay. You have programmed the machine to work this way, to do certain things. We've also seen situations where Nigerians want to circumvent it, to tamper with the machine.
Okay, I understand. Okay. That's my core area. You see. Let me tell you something. Forget about that trend. We don't. You see, when we're talking about this new generation and all those things, people look at it that something can be done to maneuver something. No way. You have not put in that machine into places. If we install this robotics, this machine into places, and what it has to be done, they have done that, then there's no way Nigeria can bypass it. I will tell you, okay, look at a lot of shopping mall that people go there and buy good. What do they use to catch them at the end of the day? Look at some video that goes viral about a bank in a particular place in East. You understand? What is that? CCTV. So there's no way you can do that. You can take away that aspect.
But what about the smartness of those who know that, okay, there's a CCTV here, and then they tamper with the CCTV, with the system?
There's something called insider attack in cybersecurity. If there is no insider attack, you cannot go away with it. You are talking about, you do like this studio now, you can have over 2,000 cameras. How do you want to dodge that? It's just because Nigeria is not yet ready. Maybe this studio now, they put 2 cameras. Now, if you are very smart, you can monitor it that this camera move 360. By the time you move to angle 90, you are targeting it, you want to enter at the angle 60. That's when you can do that. But when you have over 2,000 cameras, when everything drop down, okay, for instance, look at what is going on in stadium. If the coaches, the players, they want to talk, they have to cover their mouths. Because they know the camera will pick you. Because you are going to read. They are going to read that lips.
Because I mean, at the World Cup level, you shoot a match with as much as 60 cameras.
60 cameras.
You know, there's a camera on a particular player, on each player actually. So every action. In fact, in some advanced environment, there are cameras on the fans, and so for a fan that misbehaves.
So how do you want to misbehave? Look at a lot of things they investigate. Look at the way they're doing things. You could remember the about some years World Cup, Zidane and Materazzi. At the end of the day, he came out and apologized. What he said to Zidane,
because the
camera picked him. They could read the lips. They took something to the Italians. You understand Italian, the language he spoke. And Zidane also understand the language because he was once playing in that place. So the technology, there's no way you can run away for it. Look at, for instance, people will say, okay, the banking, they look at your this thing in ATM, this is that. You can see all those things has reduced drastically now. You understand? If we are putting what necessary things that we need to put, there is no way. Okay, look at what JAMB is doing in the area of CBT. How many times do you hear about students going in with Expo and a lot of things? Now, look at so many JAMB CBT center that was shut down. Why? Because of VPN that JAMB has put into places. They monitor from the headquarters from Abuja your JAMB CBT inside anywhere you are. They shut down so many CBT centers that are not cooperating. How many times did you hear about rumor that okay, this is fraud about this exam and all those things? The maximum you hear parents complaining is that my kid or my child does not understand how to operate those things. That's why they are using some letters, 8 letters, to enter, to go back, and all those things. You cannot hear them talking about them. There's a exam malpractice and all those things because there's CCTV everywhere. So there's no way you can run away.
At 58 years of age as a country, we are approaching 59. Is our situation pathetic or it is redeemable?
Yeah, it's still redeemable because I still believe in Nigeria, particularly the present crop of youth that we are building today. It has to do with mindset. I was speaking with one of educators that we want to integrate into our projects now. There's a project that is coming on ground. And the guy was like, Mr. Odebola, someone, I was training some set of teachers, and that teacher was like, Otisumi, I want to leave the country at all costs. And I now asked the person in charge, that what was your response? And he said, he told the guy that if you leave, I leave, then who else is going to remain? So it's better we stay and salvage the situation. So to really buttress more on what Mr. Dosime has just said, of course, to every change and development, we'll still be having resistance, whether we like it or not. Yes. To every approach, to every new approach, to every organization, there will always be resistance within and outside. So don't forget, exponentially, there will be jobs for those in charge of that cybersecurity. Look at these INEC card readers that we're talking about. There have been fears that it could be manipulated. Don't forget, some teams will be employed to handle that. So that is creating employment for some other. So you can see that the thing is more or less a robust ecosystem for those who could understand the trend. So that is what we are trying to preach about. So there's no ambiguity in the fourth industrial revolution and all that crap.
There's no denying the fact that young Nigerians are very vast. You know, you are young Nigerians too. You are in that category. But again, for Nigeria to actually come out majestically, as a country that is also keen into revolution, IT revolution, all of that. Young people also have to, man strategic places in government. But we are not seeing that. The young people that are getting close to politics, that are manning strategic places, are not really doing what we expect them to do. Now, what is the challenge for the Nigerian youth, and how can they actually, circumvent the challenge?
Of course, he mentioned the other time the mindset. A lot of things we have to start changing our mindset. You see, the challenge, you don't even go to the politics. Let's go back to lower level at the higher institution level. I always go to some higher institution to go and speak at the ANACOS week. That is Student Association for Computer Science Students, to encourage them, this is what you should do and all those things. And sometimes I meet with the NACOS advisor of the various institutions. They would be telling me NACOS president embezzle money, doing a lot of things and all those things at that level. Some SCG president was, expelled from school because of the way they manage school. Not talk of when they now get a higher position. So those things has to change. That is why we must go into the area of technology. We must imbibe this fourth generation. Because if we are using this fourth generation, you will also be scared of what you are doing. How? If you want to commit any crime, Nigerians may not have the record of those who embezzle Nigerian money in the last 50 years, 30 years. But let me tell you, as we are going this area of technology, everything is saved. What I'm discussing on TV now is saved automatically for anybody. YouTube is saving it. You cannot break down the YouTube. YouTube is on the cloud. So when you start to have it in mind that some of the crime, the issue of embezzle money, going to that position, misbehaving, when those things, you have it in mind that those things are being recorded. You understand? And it's going to affect the next generation coming from you. People will bring out those stories and tell you. It's not because we don't have the record. We don't have the backlogs. That's why we continue to, parade the same set of people that have mismanaged this country. But if we continue to trend in the area of technology, people are watching us, you know that what you are doing is permanent. If you have gone with my little experience on cybersecurity, I don't tend to misbehave on internet because I know everything is permanent. Everything, even in any way. If they don't catch you today, if you misbehave, let me tell you, if Nigeria is putting what they are supposed to put into places, no Yahoo boy will go free on just on one day if you commit any crime. I want to tell you.
And that is if truly it's a cyber crime.
Yes.
If it's not something else.
Yeah, if it's not something else. That something else is, they use that. Yeah. They use computer to cover up. Yeah. Where everybody know the something else they are doing. What they just do is, you see them in the morning, they say is Yahoo. Despite the president has put a lot of policy. When you want to even receive money, ask people to send Western Union money to you. Look at the step you are going to pass through. So if what we are saying, government now, imbibe that thing, putting into places, people will be running away. When you know that your data, as you are sitting down, you have your driver license, you use maybe 2 or 3 lines, then you have a national ID card, you have international passports. So where will you run to? Now, it's now government's responsibility to bring out those data together, to centralize it, to fish out some things. You understand? Let it be the same. I was surprised. I went to a particular hotel to lodge. You understand? The same place we have been going to lodge, they are still bringing us paper. But when I went to Ghana, where I bought this tie, I've been there some years back. When I mention my name, they bring it out. The database in Ghana. They didn't ask me to fill form again. Why are we continue to use paper filling form every day?
But the hotel that you went in Ghana and the one that you went in Nigeria,
it's nearly the same thing. It's nearly the same thing. Their cities.
Okay. Now let's. But again, we must say that there have been some remarkable achievements. Look at BVN. Look at single treasury account. All of that. I think we need to also commend government in that area too, isn't it?
Yes. Definitely. Like, just to corroborate what he has just said, we need to create a new mindset. Government is really trying. We must really commend them. Look at that TSA. Look at what that TSA policy itself has really contributed to national development in terms of revenue, collecting revenue at the central place. So, if citizens at the lowest ebb considers his or her personality to be a change agent, then there will not be need to bypass all these systemic operations so as to make money within few days or few months. Of course, I've been in teaching, I've been in education for the past 13 years. Not that I don't know the track to start Yahoo business.
I will even report you to
That is
FCC and
yeah,
AFCC.
because
I will
one,
disconnect
I
you
understand-
from the social media, everything.
Thank you. I understand my personality. I have digital footprints. That is what I want to challenge us today. That youths out there should consider what we call digital footprints. Put your name on the internet and put President Muhammadu Buhari on the internet. You will see the number of searches. You see billions of searches for Buhari. Yeah. But in your own as a personality, just put that in. I was at one of the interviews for the US programs that we have been attending. Do you realize that that was the first time I had that experience? It was a team of experts from different fields, and they were interviewing me on a particular set of projects that we are going there to do. And I discovered that there was a guy there. He was not asking any question. He was just on the laptop. I didn't know what he was searching. The question he could ask me was that, who was a brother of mine? Because at that time there was this financial impropriety in one organization that we cannot just be mentioned. So at that time, that thing came on me. Jay, I'm dead, because we share the same surname. Then immediately I let him realize that Yoruba always say this adage, Tori komo bale daron, la se so loruko. That name is not mine. I have my personality. Yes, what really saved me that day was that he saw other positive things that I have been doing, but they want to make a strong connection between that financial scandal and my footprint. So we need to be very careful.
But you didn't know he was checking on you.
I didn't know.
And, as we're closing, hope for Nigeria?
There's hope. In fact, we are improving. We are doing a lot of things. If there is no hope, our e-commerce system, Jumia, Konga, they will not be triumphant. We are doing a lot of things in that area.
Definitely.
So what we just want Nigerian youth back to the secondary school level is that let us engage more the youth on the area of coding, so that by the time this fourth generation penetrates, then we'll be able to tap in. We don't need to be scared of losing our job and anything. What we just need to do is to follow that trend. You understand? There's hope for the country, and we are doing very well.
Hope for the country. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming. We were here last week, and again, you are here today to discuss this topic, Nigerian youth and the fourth industrial revolution. It's an endless topic. We could continue to talk about this for hours, and we will not ever end, because there are still so many areas that we've not been able to explore in the program today. All the same, I must thank you so much. Emmanuel Adekunle Durosimi, chartered IT professional. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
having me. And of course, Ayodele Udiobola, education tech consultant. EduTech consultant. I'm always confused in that. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that's the program. We thank you so much for watching us. Newdawn Otunjo on the People's Daily is a daily program, except Saturdays and Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. This program is on air between 6:30 in the morning and 9:30, 6:30 and 9:30 in the morning. Thank you so much for watching today's program. The program returns tomorrow with another set of presenters. My name once more, Biodun Labiano. On behalf of my colleague, Motura Osholanke, we say bye-bye for now.